The Culinary Institute was founded by two famous renowned chefs, and the history is really impressive because the name itself, LeNôtre, is carried throughout the world.
Lenotre is the biggest name in culinary.
The family started with the grandfather Gaston Lenotre, and he was a famous caterer for the dignitaries and the royalty throughout France. That developed into the family bakery, and even today when you jump in a cab in Paris and ask them to take you to the best croissant in town or the best bakery or patisserie in town, they will take you to Lenotre.
Still, pastry shops around the world still follow the same traditions of what Gaston had laid down. Here, we bring chefs from Europe. The majority of the chefs here are from France. They come for the Lenotre name because it allows them to still keep pushing the boundaries, try testing new things, new products, molecular gastronomy, pushing the edges to sous vide style cookings the modern way. Alain, Gaston's son, has allowed us to do that. It kind of carries on the tradition of pushing forward and what the culinary world is today.
They have a much higher level of standard than the traditional academic-based schools. They bring in top-rated chefs, master chefs.
The standard here is an extremely high standard. The majority of the instructors have what they call the brevet de métier. It's a higher level of learning. So most of the guys here, yeah, they went through culinary school, they did their stuff, but they were also picked out by a handful of chefs in the European system to be masters of their trade.
One time, I had an in-between two instructor experience when we add up was over 100 years, and that's amazing. It's unheard of.
The best thing that I've taken from being a student here at Culinary Institute LeNôtre was the teachers. They gave me so much inspiration and taught me so much. They gave me real-world scenarios where, you know, you're cooking and you feel that pressure and you're understanding workflow and you're trying to produce a great product at the end.
Here at LeNôtre, we try and create a hands-on learning environment which gives the students real-world experience so that when they leave, they're prepared.
You have more time in the kitchen actually practicing your technique, cooking technique, your professional skills, and there's also classwork too. But it's mainly focused on that, whereas a lot of other culinary schools, it's, you know, almost half and half or even half the time in the kitchen we get. Whereas here we do at least 4 hours a day, 4 days a week for 40 weeks.
I find that most of the students that come here, they'll take the full 40 weeks of cuisine and sign right back up for 40 weeks of pastry after they've seen what we put out. I mean, it's pretty unique because they get to see all the food every day, what the other classes are doing, so it kind of entices them. So, man, I really want to learn that.
The students every day present the things that they created that day. They talk about the techniques they use to prepare the meal. They talk about what ingredients are used, what region the ingredients are from, and what region the menu's coming from. And they, after they do all the technical stuff, then they all get to taste and sample.
A lot of the students will go through the Crisp Bistro, which is the on-site culinary restaurant. This restaurant is geared in Houston at the same level as all the other high-end restaurants. In fact, quite often we'll be in the top 10 of certain things, or we'll be, like, for example, this restaurant will have the best foie gras in Houston. We get all the different awards, so it's a highly acclaimed restaurant. But it's student-run, and the students do have some freedom to create some of the plates.
So, like in the morning, like usually how it works is I come in the morning and I'm in the class, and then we have a lot of skill teaching and practicing in the class. So, example, I learn about what is saute and sauce from my instructor in the morning, and I practicing and we do make little dish and learn how the processing goes. And then afternoon, I come to Crisp Bistro working saute and sauce. And it's like, exactly, I learned this morning, and also same time I learn more skill through a lot of other chefs, so I can beyond what I learned out of a class.
The bistro, in my opinion, it's an awesome experience for the students. They experience real world speed. They have customers that they have to take care of. It's a great training tool, and the food there is incredible. They do an outstanding job.
It's neat because I get the students when they're raw and they don't know what to do yet. They're still green in the kitchen, and they go through a 40-week program here with me in the labs, and the other instructors. And at the end of it, they can come into our restaurant and then produce high-level food just as they would at any other high-end restaurant. Just asking the chefs around town, they like to take students from our school just because they have more lab hours, more hands-on hour, which I think is amazing, and if you tie it in with Johnny, who takes care of all of our job placement.
Through Mr. Lenotre's connections, they're vast and they're far and wide, so I get calls from the best hotels, the best restaurants, because they know that they're properly trained and they know that they're going to get a commitment to excellence. They do a really good job continuing the legacy and giving the school a good name.
Since you have the Lenotre name backing you, there's a lot more opportunity just because of the name, and they know the quality of the school.
It was great for my career. I was able right out of school, even before I graduated, to land a really good job as soon as I left Culinary Lenotre, where I got to really practice my skills and prepare myself for opening my own business. And I don't think I could have done that without having the Lenotre name on my resume.
Well, in my experiences working with the students, finding them jobs, they're all really creative, but in different ways. So what we try and do is get them to maximize their creativity in the specific field that they're interested in, and that usually helps them to be successful.
This has been a good experience for me. I'm extremely glad that I chose the school. They'd given me, a lot of great experiences here, and chef-student interaction. If I were to do it all over again, I would have chosen this school all over again.